Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Manifesting Money Podcast. I am super happy and grateful that you're tuning in today because I am telling you that you are in for a treat. So today we're actually going to be answering all things and questions about manifesting money. So if you are listening on the podcast, this is a reminder that you can now find us on YouTube. So if you haven't already checked out the YouTube, make sure you do so. I know we also have some awesome money meditations on there as well. So if you don't already incorporate the free guided meditation, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you do. And yeah, we're just really excited to have everyone listening today, whether you're a new listener, a longtime listener. Another shout out that all of the reviews that you leave us really, really helps us get this podcast out to as many people as possible. And we truly appreciate every single time that you reach out to us after an episode or when you share with a friend. We pay attention to your DM. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. So first, before I start answering a lot of the questions that I've been gathering in my DMs, what I would like to do is just share a testimony. Okay, so I got today's testimony. So this testimony is from Cheryl, who actually just joined the 31 Days of Abundance. So again, this testimony starts, hey girl, sending a testimony from the 3-day Manifesting Money Challenge. I have been inconsistently working on my relationship with money for a year or so. Look how long, a year. Coming into the 3 days, it was right when I found your podcast and I decided to give it a try. Really nothing to lose and so much to gain. So I set an intention for $1,000 manifestation goal, and it started on a Thursday. I was both planting seeds for future money to come, in quotations, clients, payments, reaching out to more clients, went to work, then had to take a short break due to a wedding that I attended over the weekend. And I admit that I hadn't really put in the work on Saturday or Sunday, which were the last final days of the manifestation. I kind of put it off, but I came back on Monday on the 3rd, and today is Wednesday. Although it's been beyond the 3 days of the challenge, I've been paid from 2 clients, payments from my friends, money earned earlier in the month from my side job for a total of $1,274.65, and a free coffee, 2 free meals, and $377 for a future paycheck coming from my side job. Yay! So good. I love this testimony. Again, I just get really excited when everybody is sharing their testimonies in our energy. So I like to share them on the podcast. It's 222 as I'm recording this right now. So that's your sign, your confirmation from source that you're listening to this for a reason. And yeah, so I love this testimony, but the best thing about this is that Cheryl actually joined the 31 Days of Abundance after this. And I get really excited about this because a lot of times when people manifest the money, they stop doing the work, right? And so a lot of, people get stuck in the cycle where they know how to obtain money or they know how to manifest money, but then for some reason they go back to where they started, or they get really scared of spending that money, or some people just want to keep the momentum going, like Cheryl here, it seems like. And I just, again, get so excited because I'm telling you, it's only up from here. And if you can do that with $1,200, you can do that with or 100,000, a million. And again, it's only up from here. So I wanted to share that testimony. I also have another testimony in my Facebook group that brought me to tears this morning. I was like, bro, how did I miss this? So the Facebook group, if you're not already in it, it's a free resource. You can find it in the link in my bio. If you're on TikTok watching this stream right now, you can just message us for it and we'll send it to you. But yeah, we have the Facebook group. Yay! For all of the free resources. I'm gonna pull up.
Of course. Sorry. Mariel likes to make an entrance. Hi.
Did you guys get it figured out?
Yes, she got the video.
Nice.
It looks great.
Oh, yay.
Thank you, love.
So the next testimony is from, I'm just going to spell it out, and I really, really hope that you know who I'm talking about. So it's AJEE. How do I pronounce this? If you're on TikTok or Instagram, with me here, please, please, please help me pronounce this. But last name is Gray. So first name AJEE. I hope I said that right. Okay, so our first testimony. This is actually yesterday on the Facebook group. So they write, So guess who knocked on my door this morning? My leasing office about my past due rent. And because of God and you, Anita, and believing in myself, when they gave me the eviction notice, I had a huge smile on my face as I explained that I was just approved for over $5,000 in my back pay rent. My and it says in quotations here, my past balance was $4,924. And I will be having future payments all paid off. I explained that they will be getting a payment by the end of this week. And they were so shocked when I closed my door and I did my happy dance, because when I say I wasn't worried at all, oh, and I took your advice, Anita, and I picked up a call from a debt collector and told her that the payment is on the way. And she said, "How will it come?" And I said, "Ma'am, you have to trust the process, but the payment is on the way. I've released it and I will find it, will find you at all in due time." Shook she was. I told her, "Have a blessed day and have an amazing week." Yeah, money problems release me for me, and I give myself I give myself to financial freedom. Let's go. Thank you, Anita Aguilar. Oh, I just love this testimony. Okay, we're going to start answering some questions about manifesting money. Again, if you're watching on Instagram or TikTok, go ahead and put your questions in here. I'm going to answer them on the podcast as we go. But I'm making today short and sweet. I just want to make sure that we get this episode answering all these questions out here, because there's so much more than what I put on Instagram. And so again, I'm just going back to all of the questions that came to the surface. So the first question that we have here is, how do I release the attachment to money? How do I release the attachment when it comes to money? So this is so beautiful. And I truly mean it when I say this is exactly why I created the 31 Days of Abundance. So the question again is, how do I release my attachment to money? So for those of you, again, who are new, you don't really know what we're talking about. You're kind of like just now getting in our energy. Again, hello, welcome. But the biggest thing that we're really getting asked right now is, how do I stay happy and stay positive and stay worthy in my mind, even if I don't have any money? So a lot of times, people are blocking their blessings because they have an emotional attachment to money. And what I mean by that is that when they have money, they're worthy and they're excited and they're motivated and they feel like free. But when they don't have money, they feel restricted. They feel like they're failing. They feel like they're unworthy. Your body is physically telling you that too. That is why we physically feel stress, worry, and anxiety, because of the thoughts that are going on in your head. And your thoughts are just really controlling your emotions. And so anytime that you're feeling that icky stress and anxiety when it comes to money, it's because there are beliefs that are telling you that you cannot have, do, or achieve something. So the work is not to, again, obtain all the success and get all the money, because that's not actually what's going to make that feeling go away. What you want to do is actually get super clear on the stories that you're telling yourself. So for example, if you are having this feeling that, again, when you have the money, you're excited, you're motivated, and when you don't, you're feeling that stress and anxiety and worry, is that you have to find things outside of money that makes you still feel that emotion. So first things first, get super clear on the story that you're telling yourself, right? Even you being conscious of like, oh, I'm just telling myself that I'm unworthy because I can't go get a Starbucks. It's just little things like that. And once you become conscious of a story of what you're telling yourself you cannot have, do, or achieve, then you're able to become at peace with it. So this is a second step. You want to become at peace and let yourself know, oh, so even if I couldn't get Starbucks today, if I couldn't make a payment, or if my rent didn't get paid, or whatever it is, that I'm still worthy, that I'm still loved, and that I'm still safe. And again, this is before we get into the positive and what we're trying to flip, because until you are at peace with this fear, it's still going to keep coming back to the surface. So again, this is what we teach in the 31 Days of Abundance, is to really just reprogram your mind to do this automatically. So a lot of people think that abundance is having all the money in the world, but really it's just reprogramming your mind to become conscious of these thoughts, flip them, and understand that, oh, that has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with my worth. It has nothing to do with how I feel about myself. And then we can think happy and positive and think, oh, yeah, it's all going to work out. This is exactly what I want to happen instead. But again, it's really, really important to become conscious and have your brain programmed to be have that new habit and pattern to get clear on the story for you. So the second question that I'm bringing up to the surface is, how do I stop feeling like I'm living paycheck to paycheck? And I love this question because this is so key. Like, even the way that it's wording is that it's feeling, right? The fact that you physically feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck is amplifying that. So again, if you're going back to the concept that money is just energy, money is a frequency, right? And wherever we are focusing the most, we're actually attracting more of. So again, if your focus and your paradigm is on, oh my gosh, every single week I'm barely getting by. One, again, you can't be in a state of gratitude and lack at the same time, right? So it's very like just becoming conscious that you're in a state of lack and just flipping it to gratitude is automatically going to raise your vibration. It's going to raise your frequency, which is again your point of attraction. And you're also going to start looking for proof that this is true. So what happens is that when you tell yourself this new story that you don't want to say that I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, because again, your subconscious mind doesn't hear the word not. It doesn't hear the word no. It doesn't hear the word don't. So you really just want to flip your mind and reprogram the exact opposite. And sometimes that's the work, right? Like, I don't know what the exact opposite of not living paycheck to paycheck is. So what you want to do is grab a pen and paper, write it down. What does that look like to you? So if not living paycheck to you is having enough money for everything that you need and everything that you desire, then say that. So again, this is why it's really important for each and every one of you to do the work, because I can't tell you what the affirmation is going to be. I can't tell you what the story that's getting replayed in your head over and over again. So the work is for you to get clear on the story and flip it in a way that feels most in alignment for you. And then to start repeating that new story and say, oh, okay, I have enough money for everything that I need. I have enough money left over. I have money for all of my crazy adventures I want to go on. And the last part about this is just knowing your numbers. So again, this is also what we teach in the 31 Days of Abundance, is for you to know exactly what's coming in and what exactly is coming out. So I love this concept, because what we don't know scares us. And if you really, really pay attention to the habits and the actions that we have when we don't have money, we hide, we shelter, and we don't look at what's coming into our bank account. We don't look how much money is going out, because we don't want to amplify that feeling. So again, a lot of times we're avoiding the debt collectors. We're avoiding all of these things because we don't want to amplify that feeling. So what you want to do is get control. Know your numbers. I swear there is like a little, it's like a flip of a switch. Every single time that I feel nervous or scared, or that those limiting beliefs start to come back up, it's because I don't know my numbers. So if you're living paycheck to paycheck right now, get super clear on how much money you would need every single week in order to not feel like that anymore, right? Because a lot of times, like, people are living in this paycheck to paycheck mentality because they're only making X amount of money a week, and they still need an extra $100 or maybe even just $200 a week to live this most abundant life, right? And it's so funny to like really put down on paper, and it helps your subconscious mind build the belief. Okay, you don't have to suffocate that this money is the way the money is coming to you, but again, just getting super clear on what it is that you need. Because a lot of times it's not manifesting because you have lack of clarity. So I'm still on the questions here on Instagram, then I'm going to get over to TikTok and Instagram here. And then, so the question that I'm answering right now, or the number one struggle that someone has with money right now, is how can I manifest the exact amount of money? And can I manifest a huge amount, like 2.3 million? So I'm going to break this down into two. I did this on my Instagram story too, but again, I want to do this on the podcast so that you all are very conscious of what it is that I'm saying. So first things first, the first question was, again, can I manifest an exact amount of money? And the answer is yes. Yes, 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 yes. But I'm telling you, again, what I didn't know when I first started using these concepts, and even after I had proof that I could set an intention of how much money I wanted to show up and it would show up. But for some reason, when I did it with $10,000 or $20,000, the money never showed up. And I just couldn't figure out. I don't understand. Why is it not manifesting? Why is it not manifesting? I believe it's coming. And the truth is, I didn't believe that it was coming. I had no actual desire for that money, other than the fact that my ego wanted it. So a lot of times people get mixed up with this. And this is actually what we talk about in week 2 of the Manifesting Money Academy. It's just really being conscious of how you're setting your goals, right? Money likes to be told where to go. So if you're setting your money goals and you're like, I want $10,000 saved. Yes, it's already manifesting from you putting it out there and speaking it into existence. But when you are intentionally, consciously manifesting and co-creating and like speaking something into existence and expediting the process by moving towards the manifestation, that money has to have desire. Like there's times when I was manifesting $10,000 just because I wanted to pay off a credit card. The truth is, if I really wanted to pay off that credit card, I could have done it. But I didn't really want to, right? The desire wasn't there. But when I needed $10,000 to join a mastermind from somebody who I'd been listening to on a podcast for like the past 2 years and get in that energy and go to LA, and I only had a couple of days to find $10,000, I found $10,000. So before you're manifesting this specific amount of money, get super clear. What is that money going to do for you? Okay. Like, do you need X amount of money for a closing cost on a house? Do you need it for a car, like a specific car that you already know what the car is? You just need X amount of money. Maybe it's a trip. Maybe you're manifesting money for a flight, right? You have to get super clear on why this money is showing up for you and have that desire there. So this leads into the second part of this question is, can I manifest a huge amount of money, like $2 million? So just even the way that this question is worded, a huge amount of money of $2 million. So everybody on TikTok and Instagram right now, I know everybody in the podcast is just kind of watching me do this right now, but I really want to do this live so I can kind of see where everybody's emotions are. But right now, wherever you're listening or watching, I want you to say the affirmation, I have $2 million in my bank account. I have $2 million in my bank account. I have $2 million in my bank account. And I want you to tell me how that physically makes your body feel when you say that. How does your body feel when you say, I have $2 million in my bank account? How does your body physically feel when you say this? Someone said relaxed, intimidated, happy, relieved, happy, joy, relaxed, happy, intimidated. Body says why. Well, your body doesn't say why. Your mind says why, but your body is actually having a reaction. So that's why I'm saying right now, just tune into your body. Someone else said they feel safe, anxious, empty, a little breathless, right? So the reason why I just did that exercise is because if you don't believe that it's possible for you, your body will tell you. Your body will tell you. A knot in my stomach. I feel shocked. I got chills. I'm happy. So again, the reason why we're doing this exercise is because, again, if you are saying these affirmations and all this stuff and your body has so much resistance to it, your mind is telling you that's not possible. That's a lie. $2 million, that's huge. And the other thing that I shared about this specific topic is that you're manifesting a huge amount of money. Your mind is telling you, because it's a bigger amount of money, because it's huge, I'm doing quotation marks, and finally you guys can actually see me doing this, that it's 10 times harder for you to obtain. Nope. And again, if you have that emotional attachment to money, to what I was talking about earlier of happy when you have it, excited when you don't. So even for the people who are saying like, oh, I'd be excited and I'd be motivated, the truth is when that is complete alignment for you, you won't feel anything. You'll just feel, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's cool. Right. I used to think that tapping into the emotion would be like, yeah, I'm excited, I'm motivated. But really, people who are very, very conscious of this and very like, again, like I would say, I don't want to say master it because that means that we would stop working, but you're just really conscious, like, oh, yep, I already knew that was going to happen, right? I already knew that was pending in my account. I already knew I was going to make X amount of money or obtain that amount of money. And so the more that you can, again, release that emotional attachment that you have towards money and just even break down the belief of why do you think it's harder to manifest $1 million opposed to $5, opposed to 5,000, opposed to 500,000. You know what I mean? Once you really start to build the belief for your subconscious mind that when I needed $5, it showed up for me. When I needed $10,000, it showed up for me. When I needed $50,000, it showed up for me. So again, it's just the process, right? Are you just manifesting the money because you think the money is going to fix all your problems? Or are you doing it because there's a desire and that money has purpose? So the next question that we're going to go over is, how do I make money from my passion? And I just get really excited because I know who submitted this question. And I'm like, you're already on the right path. Even on TikTok here, I have a person kind of asking the same question. The question is, any advice on how to attract clients in your business? So this is actually something that we go over in the Manifesting Money Academy. Again, that's an 8-week coaching certification. We just closed the door for this enrollment, but we do have a wait list for the next time that we launch it, which we don't know when that will be yet. But again, we do have the wait list available. But if you're wanting to attract money in your business through your passion, all these different things, right? If you feel like you're already on the right path, you're already on your path of least resistance. I love doing this. I'm so excited every day when I wake up and I get to do X, Y, and Z. Sometimes the money's not showing up in your business because you're not charging enough. You're not charging enough. And I want to give you an example from both like perspectives for all my practical people out there. And then I have people who are energetic, but again, we really want to be that balance of both. So if you really think about it, if I'm somebody who's operating if I'm somebody who's operating at this really high frequency, and I like the finer things in life, I like the bougie things in life, I like quality over quantity, right? And I'm looking at prices of things, and I'm looking at different people, and again, I'm looking over quality over quantity. My brain is going to go towards the things that cost more, because there's a subconscious belief that's associated with this, that it has better quality because it's more, right? If somebody is charging $15 for something, you're thinking, you already have subconscious beliefs of what's associated with it. And so it's not necessarily, again, it really depends on what it is that you're putting out there. But at the same time, if this person is charging 15 and this person is charging 100, and they're the same kind of like service, and I'm looking for quality over quantity, which one do you think I'm going to choose? And so I really want to give you that perspective so that you can see the type of people that you're attracting and why. And so the second part about that is that you have to release the people who are not operating at the same frequency as you. So a lot of times when people start their business, they, are kind of just taking everybody, right? And I'm speaking from experience. When I first started my makeup business, I was just taking whoever would, want their makeup done. I would take anybody who wants X, Y, and Z. And then I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to do makeup for brides anymore. Oh, I don't want to do makeup for this anymore. Oh, I don't want to do makeup for this. I only want to do makeup for people who are doing photo shoots, right? And so once I had that clarity and I released the clients who were no longer serving me, even though that the money was good, I created space for my manifestations. So again, this is like still speaking to people who will feel like you're already on your path of least resistance. You just have to do a little bit of adjusting. So again, this is what we teach in the 31 days of abundance. It's really, really just follow your path of least resistance and find out the things that are serving you and really building this muscle of knowing how fast that you can release. That's what I like to say. Like, how fast can you release to keep following this path of least resistance? Because sometimes it just needs the smallest little adjustments. Okay, so next question I have on Instagram is, someone said that they're always thinking about money. Like, money is in my mind all the time. I love this comment because it is so true. And honestly, until I was conscious of how much that I think about money and how much other people don't think about the problems that I'm thinking about, it really, really opened up a perspective for me. So I can't remember what this TV show is called, but it's so lame. Not lame. I like it. I like it, but it's like, it was so funny because this helped me kind of break down this belief. But gosh, what is it called? Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce. Okay, there's this TV show on Netflix, Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce. Anyway, in this TV show, these ladies have money. Like, money is not an issue for anybody in this show, but they have so many problems, like relationship problems, breakup problems. They have problems about like their kids' school or whatever, like all these little things that I really just was not conscious of. And I loved watching this TV show because it helped me, again, just shift my focus to all of the problems that I have in my life that don't have to do with money. And what happens is that when we start to obtain more money, your brain starts to go in survival mode and say, oh my gosh, I need to survive. I need to survive. So your brain starts to think of all of these new scenarios and reasons why you have to worry. But it's not that you're not going to have problems anymore. They're just not going to be specifically of not having enough, right? And so a lot of times when you're shifting that paradigm and you're just getting super clear on like, what other problems do I have that have nothing to do with money? You'll start to realize like little things like, oh my gosh, like I have the money for this concert, but the tickets are sold out, right? So now my problem is that I got to find somebody who's not going to the concert and buy the ticket from them, right? So now just those little things where you're focusing on things that have nothing to do with like not having money, and just more specifically on like, I don't know, just other things that really, really just helped me shift my paradigm. And yeah, so I highly suggest that if you're someone who thinks about, I don't have money, like shift your paradigm to all of the problems that you have that have nothing to do with money. Okay, so the next question that I have is always wondering where money is going to come from. So if you are somebody who is always wondering where money's going to come from, I don't have enough, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay my next bill? So this kind of goes back to what I was talking about in the beginning of just being conscious of you're the co-creator. So look, I am all about the feminine energy, which is getting to know your money and getting this relationship with money and trusting money and knowing that money is always coming your way. But I'm telling you that every single time I didn't know my numbers, again, I would get so scared and I would lose trust in my money. And I would put so much pressure on the universe to just drop $10,000 in my bank account. And then it wouldn't. And then I would lose trust with money, the universe, God, source, myself. And I was just causing so much resistance. And this is why I truly believe that to be a balance of both, right? Because there's a time in my life where I was hustle grind, always working, always having all these different jobs. And then I became conscious of the law of attraction manifestation. And then I just brought that masculine energy over to the feminine energy part. And what I mean by that is that I was like, oh my gosh, if I'm not meditating every day or journaling every day, or I'm not, believing enough, then it's not going to work. Right. So you have to realize that one, those are all tools and resources that are going to help you tap into that frequency. So if you're somebody who's getting frustrated because you didn't do X, Y, and Z, you got to let that go. Okay. And we have our morning routines and our night routines with the 31 Days of Abundance and the Manifesting Money Academy. But again, we really, really just reiterate that like those are there to help you. Right. And you do notice the difference the days that you don't meditate opposed to the days that you do meditate, or you listen to some audio suggestions, and you'll notice the difference, right? But again, they're there to help, not to stress you out and make you feel like you need to do those things and rely on an external source to tap into the frequency of wealth and abundance. So where I was going with this question is that you knowing your numbers, right? Going back to what I said in the beginning, and I believe this is day 2. Actually, I think it's day 3. Yeah, it's day 3 of 31 Days of Abundance. So if you guys are watching on TikTok or Instagram right now, so just go ahead in the comments and tell me if you're in the 31 Days of Abundance, because I'm just trying to see who is in the program. But yeah, day 3, I have everybody get super clear on what are your numbers? What are your numbers? How much money manifested? How much money came into your account? How much money left your account? And I always track things that are even not physical money. So for example, if someone bought me a coffee today and my goal was to manifest $100, that's $5 that I'm manifesting. If I got a refund for something, I'm putting that down. If somebody gave me something for free that costs $50, that's money manifested. So again, you want to keep building this belief to your subconscious mind, but you also want to get super clear on your numbers, how much you need, and how you can make that happen. And again, I know a lot of people get confused with this and they're like, oh my gosh, I thought we're supposed to let go of the how. And what most people mean when they're saying that is that, again, you're building the belief and you're meeting that manifestation halfway. And you're thinking of all of the possibilities, but you're just not getting stuck on one. So again, when people are referring to that phrase of like, don't worry about the how, don't worry about the how, it's like the how will come when you are again focused on the end result. So the download, the inspired action, all that stuff, like you will get it so fast once you get clear on what you need and why you need it. And that passion and that desire is there. The how will come. Okay. But if you're not moving on that intuitive action and you have that or inspired thought and you're not taking action after you hear the download, it's like, oh, you just need to go do X, Y, and Z. And you're like, that's a good idea. But then you don't do it. We just get stuck in the same cycles over and over again. So again, it's really important for you to help your subconscious mind build that belief. Please, please, please. Your mind is always telling you, meet me halfway, please. So this is why a lot of times in my programs, we make a plan of how the money can show up and we take action on how we believe that the money is going to show up. But when that plan doesn't work out, notice how I said when, not if, because I know that it's not, that we still believe that that money is coming because we took action on the plan that came up for us. And even when it didn't turn out the way that we thought it would, something else manifested. So that's why I always tell my clients, follow through with the plan, follow through with the commitments that you said that you were going to make. Because if you really think about it, like you taking those actions are what needed to happen for the other way that the money manifested, the other opportunity to happen where the money did manifest. Okay. So stay open and receptive, but also meet the manifestation halfway. Okie dokie. Okay, so that was all my questions that I had specifically on Instagram. So now I'm heading over to TikTok, and then we're going to wrap up the podcast here in a couple minutes. So I'm answering just a few more questions, and then we're going to do a quick recap about manifesting money, all the questions that we went over. And yeah. So again, I'm recapping on TikTok. Someone said, I went to Target today and I just picked up the things that I needed without looking at the price tag. And I used my credit cards my credit card to pay without worrying how much I have to pay back. So good. Okay, I love this because again, we think that when we have more money that we're going to start to go to the store and pull stuff off of the cart and you're like, oh, I just need this. Oh, I just need these groceries. Oh, let me pick something organic and not look at the price. We think having more money is going to make us act like that. But the truth is, if you're not doing those things right now, nothing's going to change when you have more money. And so that's like really my mission and my purpose to get on here and tell everybody all the time, because I not only see it in myself, but I see it in other people. And it's why you hear those testimonies of people who have manifested money and they're not happy and they're not fulfilled, right? But then people blame money for the reason for that, but really it has nothing to do with money, right? It has everything to do with the way that person thinks about money, feels about money, the void that they're trying to fill with money. Nope, nope, nope. I promise there are so many good people in this world with money, but they're just not being really like shown to the world, right? Everybody wants to show all the things that people are doing bad with money, but nobody wants to really give credit to the people who are healing those relationships and really, again, setting that example that everything and anything is possible. Let's see. Someone wants to know the most that I've manifested. So the reason why I don't answer this question is because it's a question where you're comparing yourself, right? And so a lot of times when we're asking, like, and not even just specifically that question, but if you're asking somebody questions kind of based off of, what have you done? What we're actually trying to do is compare ourselves. And the more that you're in that comparing and just kind of like, seeing X, Y, and Z, the more that we stay in that frequency. And so that's why I don't put that stuff out there, because I really, really just want to connect with people who are okay, wait. Someone said, is something good coming if a car gets repossessed? So the answer is yes. Okay, so I talk about this in the 31 Days of Abundance, but what goes up must come down. So there's a law of polarity. So law of polarity is a universal law that when something quote unquote bad happens, that there's equally positive, I don't want to say energy, but like, I'm just think of this literally in a way of you saying that there's negative, what are they called? Electrons, right? There's negative energy and there's the positive energy, right? So if there's stuff that's quote unquote bad happening, like by law, there is something on the other side of that to equally match, if not better. And so that is why I not only know for a fact that if something quote unquote bad is happening with money specifically, that something good is coming, but I've also seen so much proof. So for example, I've heard this concept a couple different times from a couple different people. So then it's already building the belief because I heard it there and I also heard it there and I also seen it there. But then I started to play with this new belief, right? Okay, well, if that's true, and I get excited when my car breaks down, and I believe that there's a lot of money coming my way, then let's just kind of roll with that. Let's see, what's the worst that could happen, right? If I really believe this. And I'm telling you, ever since I've shifted that belief and I've really looked for proof that this is the new story, it is the number one reason why I get excited when I get parking tickets. I get excited when my car breaks down or I have unexpected bills. You guys heard me talk about that on my last podcast episode. I think it was a couple of episodes now where I manifested my home. Like, it's not a coincidence that all of those quote unquote bad things happen when it came to money and unexpected things. And we just had our best month yet with our launch. Like, it's not a coincidence. And the more that you can stay in that frequency of, oh, this is a good sign, this is a good sign, the more that you are going to attract that. So this is one of the last questions that I'm going to answer here, and then we're going to hop off. So your opinions on savings and not feeling guilty if you want to pick it at all. Such a good question. Okay. The reason why I love this question is because this is actually, again, what we talk about in the 31 Days of Abundance. So there are 3 things that we want to be doing on a consistent basis. So saving money, giving money away, and spending money on yourself. So if you're watching this right now on TikTok or Instagram, or even if you're listening to this on the podcast or YouTube, I want you to really just think about those things that I just said: saving money, giving money, and spending money on yourself. And I want you to ask yourself, which one is hardest for you? Which one causes most resistance in your body when you're like, oh my gosh, I got to do X, Y, and Z? So which one is hardest for you when I say that you need to be saving money, giving money, and spending money on yourself? Which one is hardest for you? Spending money on myself, someone said. Someone else said saving. Spending on money on myself, saving, spending money on myself. A lot of spending money on myself and saving. Someone else said giving. Saving because there ain't no money to save. Yeah. But see, even that, it's just a belief. Okay. And so it's just so hard to just like skim over these things because there's just so much information. So first things first, I'll start with spending money on myself, right? So if you're somebody who it's hard for you to spend money on yourself right now, again, I'm saying right now because you are shifting this belief right now. It's usually boils down to self-worth. 9 times out of 10, if you are going to a store and you are purchasing something for yourself and you feel resistance, you feel guilty after you purchase, oh my gosh, why did I spend that $100 on my massage? I should have paid X, Y, and Z instead. I should have paid my cable bill. I should have put it on my credit card. I should have. Should is shame. Any time that you're using the word should, you are actually telling yourself that you feel shameful about that. And so again, it has nothing to do with the massage that you just purchased. It has nothing to do with the makeup that you got at Sephora. It has nothing to do with anything external. It has everything to do about how we feel about ourselves. And the reason why we want to do this on a consistent basis and why I've really incorporated it into the 31 Days of Abundance is because you're breaking a cycle. Like, you think that when you have a lot of money, you're going to give it to your parents and your parents are going to stop working and they're going to go on vacations and they're going to have this most abundant life. Where do you think you got those beliefs from? Right? Those beliefs of not spending money on yourself, not really celebrating, not buying a chocolate bar at the checkout, just because it looks good, have been handed down. So if you really, really want to help somebody, set the example that they can spend money on themselves and it will come right back into their bank account. So a lot of times when we are spending money on ourselves and we feel guilty and shame, is one, we're usually telling ourselves the story, oh my gosh, I just spent this money. The money's gone and it's not coming back. I wasted that money. Okay, first things first, let's flip that belief right now. This is what we do in the 31 Days of Abundance. It's like, I believe every single time that I spend money on myself, it comes back in tenfold. And again, because you're saying this affirmation, you're bringing it up to your conscious mind, you are speaking it into existence, your brain is automatically going to look for proof that this is true. So if you are, again, telling yourself that this money comes back to me in tenfold every single time that I invest in it, like, that will be your new truth. Again, like, and you say that, and let's say you just bought a shirt for yourself for $30, and then boom, you got a $30 gift card in the mail the same day, right? That was already going to happen either way, but now this is proof that when you bought something for yourself, that this was true, right? And it's because you see this as your reality and this is your assumption, the law of assumption, that this becomes the new truth. So, now to go to the second part of this question was about saving money. So if you are saving money, you have trouble saving money, right? Somebody said, I can't save money because I don't have any money to save from the beginning. That's not true. Do you have a penny in your couch or something? Do you have 50 cents in your bank account that you can transfer to your savings? Like, that's just a story, right? Even if you don't physically have any money at all, you can find $1. You can find $10. You can find $100 to put in your savings. And it doesn't matter about the amount of money that you have in there. It's all about that breaking that belief, right? Like you said that you didn't have money to save, but you just saved $10. So now this is the new proof. This is the new story. Oh, I can't save money. Oh, I can do X, Y, and Z. So this is why I always tell my clients to start small, quote unquote small, right? Whatever small is for you. Again, I'm literally talking pennies, nickels, and dimes here. And then build your belief. Again, because if you're not constantly saving money on a consistent basis, like, and then you just get $500 and you put it in your savings account, and then boom, you get an unexpected bill for $500, and you're like, oh my gosh, now I got to use the money that I just saved. So first things first, no, you don't. If you said you're going to save that money and you pull that money from your savings, one, because it's easy access, two, because you feel like you need to, is that you're actually breaking that trust that you just said with yourself, right? So put that money somewhere where you can't touch it. So if you have that problem, again, this is literally me speaking from experience, and this is why I don't like just having my money easy access places, because I will spend it, right? And I'm not necessarily being so hard on myself for, oh my gosh, I'm so mad at myself for not, saving money. No, I'm just being a lot more conscious and smarter about this, because I'm like, oh, okay, well, if that's what I keep doing, why don't I make it harder for myself to get the money? And guess what? Then I forget about the money. And so, really setting up strategies and structures and relationships and boundaries with your money is what's going to help you build this relationship. So I could go on and on about this. And the last things I want to say about saving, that I'm going to hop off here and again, submit the podcast. Last thing I want to say about saving is that saving can be a form of scarcity too. Like, I see this all the time. Like, I work with people who majority are struggling to make money. They're like, I need money, I need money, I need money. But then I work with people who obtain the money and then they're so scared of spending it. They're so scared of releasing it and letting it go. And I seen this TikTok the other day with Sean. Was it Shawn Mendes? Not Shawn Mendes. Big Sean. I love Big Sean. Oh, he always talks about law of attraction in his songs. Anyway, but he was talking about, like, you can't be scared of letting money go. You can't be scared of releasing it. Like, if you trust that it's coming back, you got to let it go. Right. So again, abundance is not having all the money in the world. It is knowing that it's always, always coming back to you. So the first time that I hit my 20K month, like, people think that I just had $20,000 sitting in my bank account. No, that money had places to go. It had people to pay. It had investments that I made. It had things that I was paying off. It had nicer things that I wanted to buy for myself. Like, the money was being circulated, whether a certain percentage was getting sent to my savings, whether a certain percentage was getting paid off for credit cards, whether a certain percentage was for my team. Like, the money had places to go. And the more that you can put every single dollar in a specific place, the more that it's going to manifest. And I like to think of it as a way that you're circulating money, right? You're not getting scared of releasing it, because if you are, you're going to keep attracting people who are the same way, right? And that's why a lot of people get stuck in the cycle. Like if you have a business right now and you're like, everybody's excited about working with me, but nobody's investing. Okay, well then who are you being and how are you attracting that? So with that, I'm dropping the mic. Yeah, those are pretty much the main questions that I wanted to answer today. So if you're listening to this right now, again, these are all things that we teach in the 31 Days of Abundance. And my specific goal that I'm putting out there, I think I put it on TikTok as well, is to educate people on this information. So our goal is to hit over 100,000 people this year teaching about money mindset, whether you're in the 3-day workshop, the 31 Days of Abundance, the Manifesting Money Academy. Like our goal is to hit 100,000 people. So first things first, if you have a community, an email list, a social media following, and you would like for me to speak for your community for free, please DM me. And I was going to say, you can email events@manifestingmoneypodcast.com and I can put it in the show notes. But yeah, we're just trying to get booked up where we're speaking, whether it's engagements, whether it's at Zoom, schools, like whatever we can do to get this message out there. And last thing I want to say before I get off of here, someone said, I don't know why every time I watch your lives, I get so emotional and I get happy. It's because one, you manifested me being on live because I wasn't going to get live today or record this podcast today, but I had an intuitive action. So here we are. The last thing is about the 31 Days of Abundance. If you're not already in this program, again, you doing this work is what's going to help us get this message out to as many people as possible. So again, if you're listening to this and you're not already in the program, this is your sign to take intuitive action. So we actually have a promo code for you all. Yep. So we have promo codes available. So please message me and I will tell you what that message is or what that code is and how much percentage it is off. But yeah, this is our thank you for doing this work and just like investing into your money mindset. Like I can't explain how much your testimony is going to help build a belief for so many other people. Like I can sit here all day long and say manifesting money is easy. But like if somebody who has 3 children, who's a stay-at-home mother, who manifests X, Y, and Z, like someone else is going to resonate with your story more than mine, right? And you're going to build that belief for someone else. So I can't wait to share your testimonies, just like the way that I did in the beginning of this podcast. And yeah, so I hope you all have a blessed rest of your day. We're going to be hopping on here more frequently. And I'm just so excited that you were all in this energy. All right, loves, have a blessed rest of your day.